Alright, I better cool down for a little. I've been fighting a huge war for almost a year already. I'm completely done posting about the birth army on my main channel. If you really want to keep seeing me talk about the worst birth army members ever and the best ways to take them down, I suggest you go to my alt account, Uranium Puppy Fight Mode, which was created especially to talk about the birth army without getting my main channel terminated by Susan Wojcicki. Alright, now that I've talked about how I will never post anything related to Birthbot on my main channel ever again to avoid demonetization, termination, or worse, it's time for the video. I have not done any storytime animations in months, so this video will be a storytime about how I went to Las Vegas 2 years ago. Yeah, as I talked about in my Christmas special video and my 2020 is over video, I went to Las Vegas on New Year for a concert. But do you really know what happened there and the time I almost crashed into a train on the way back? No? Okay then, now for the f***ing intro. Let's get to the damn point. I'm a fan of a pop band called Maroon 5. On November of 2019, I found out that Maroon 5 was having a concert in Mandalay Bay in Las Vegas for 2020 New Year. Since my parents had lots of money at that time, they decided to take me there. I was extremely excited. We selected to depart to Las Vegas on December 27 to spend a few days visiting Las Vegas before the concert on December 31. I can make a whole video talking about the extreme insomnia I had the night before the trip because of pure excitement. My sleep-deprived, vulnerable body literally woke up at 5 a.m. and instantly got to the car and we took off. This was because we had packed everything and left it in the car the day before. My parents didn't let me take my dog Peanut along. However, I smuggled Peanut into my backpack at the last second, and she wasn't doing a lot of noise. She was just like eating my stuff and destroying everything silently. However, when we stopped to get food, these are the events that unfolded. You brought Peanut along? Okay, so yes, Peanut was found. But what could Mom do about it anyway? We were 6 hours away from my house at that time, so I kept Peanut for the rest of the trip. Anyway, we got to our hotel, the Aria Hotel, but there was a catch. We were going to stay one day at the Aria Hotel and the rest of the trip in the Luxor Hotel. So we had one day to explore the beautiful hotel that was Aria. My aunt was also in the hotel at that time, and she guided us on a tour through it. It was a cool hotel, I guess. It had these little shops and fountains, and there was even free oxygen. Peanut liked the place too. Also, I saw some police running trying to catch someone. Was he a criminal or something? I got paranoid I would get murdered in my sleep by the guy, but that never happened, and that was day one. Next was December 28 to 30, the next 3 days before the concert. We ate breakfast at Aria, and then we left the hotel forever to get to Luxor. Luxor was better than Aria. Sorry, Aria stands. Ah! Luxor was Egyptian themed or whatever and had casinos, but I was not allowed in them, so 40% of the entire hotel was completely out of bounds for me. Why is it illegal for 11-year-old kids to gamble? Luxor was nice. It had a coffee area, and the best thing of all was this huge tunnel inside that area that linked to the Mandalay Bay Hotel and every other hotel. I'm a huge fan of the interconnected passageways and those things, so this was epic for me. The next day, we took a ride on a roller coaster thingy that interconnected between hotels, and I saw the epicness of it all. We ate dinner at this other Egyptian-themed restaurant called Caesar's Palace, and I ate my favorite food, pizza. Some days later, my aunts and me then went to visit the Mandalay Bay, the place where the concert would be at. There were fish aquariums there, and there were actually Komodo dragons and pufferfish kept there. Do you know a single one of those puffing boys can kill up to 30 humans with its poison? Thankfully, it was behind multiple layers of reinforced glass. Still, glad I met 8 of the pufferfish. My aunt also bought me this cool penguin plush. Okay, now it was December 31, 2021. It was time for the Maroon 5 concert. Why do people have so much security measures for concerts anyway? I must know, please. It took 20 minutes to get to all the security checks and x-rays and passes, but I finally made it. The concert was okay, I guess. I found a lot of new Maroon 5 songs that I didn't know yet. I ate popcorn and I also danced. Anyway, after the concert, I drank a cherry slushie that tasted as if someone had frozen a rotten strawberry and peed on it and turned it into ice cream and turned that ice cream into a slushie. Also, I just want to say that the concert was basically at the beginning of 2020. Do you have an idea just how lucky I was that I went to that concert? It was just 3 months before lockdown started. If Mr. Corona had started a little bit earlier, the concert would have been completely canceled. Also, I slept at 1 a.m. because I was watching the New Year fireworks. Okay, now the real fun begins. The next day I went to visit a medieval-themed hotel called Excalibur, and I was forced by my mother to watch a corny theater performance about the most cliche thing ever. I also talked about this in my Christmas video, but at the hotel, they were serving medieval-style chicken as dinner. I cannot eat that because it resembles my dog Peanut. I also bought this meme Donald Trump figurine. See? He's shitting. That's what's funny. Best souvenir ever. Now we get to the final day of this trip, January 2. And this day was worth talking about. It started as we packed our bags to leave the hotel. We ate waffles for breakfast again, said goodbye to Las Vegas, and then our car stopped working in the middle of the road. Keep in mind that Nevada is a freaking desert. There is nothing for miles except Area 51, and those aliens are not going to help us. So thankfully, we were only a few miles away from Las Vegas, so Dad had to walk back to Luxor on foot and ask for help. They did not have the type of battery the car needed, but they had a similar one, and so they put that on the car. However, since this was not the type of car the battery was made for, we couldn't turn off the car or the car would explode and we would probably die. Don't worry, on the city where we lived, Tijuana, they did have the type of batteries the car needed. We could get a useful new battery there if we were going there anyway. But if you think this story was good from then on, you're stupid, you're a fucking idiot. Because just 6 hours later, the car almost got crushed by a train. See, my dad had been driving for like 6 hours and he was very tired. At one point, my mom said, let's backtrack like 6 more hours to a Wendy's so I can eat some chicken nuggets. And Dad became angry. A little fact about my dad, he was born in the United States of America, but then he moved to Mexico. And so he has double nationality. Same with me. I was born in the United States, but I moved to Mexico. My mom, though, was only born in Mexico and she is completely Mexican. Anyway, since my dad was legally American, but has moved to Mexico since, this means that he doesn't know anything about the United States and hates it. So anyway, while he was going to the Wendy's, he got very lost and he was very tired. He was so tired he almost crashed against the car. At one point, we were near train tracks and I heard the gates closing and the train approaching. But Dad simply kept driving towards the closing boom gates, possibly because he was so tired he didn't notice the obvious red flashing lights. Fortunately though, we crossed the other side seconds before the train crashed into our car. After this, my dad said finally yes to stopping at a yummy fast food restaurant, and I talked to him about how close we were to death because of his stupidity. He apologized and promised that the rest of 2020 would be the best year ever for us. Yeah, the best year ever. Less than 3 months later, he was regretting those words and he was regretting them deeply. Anyway, we stopped at a hotel because it was 2 in the morning and we couldn't drive all the way around to Tijuana, even though we were already in San Isidro. And yeah, the next day we arrived at our house. And yeah, that was my trip to Las Vegas. I talked about it in the video. I missed some things, but yeah, I said the majority of it. Subscribe to my friend Skeletonkin. He was originally a Birth Army member, but he became good and now he's my friend because he's not in the Birth Army anymore. And yeah, subscribe to me too or you will face the consequences. Don't say I didn't warn you.